My name is Rob Rich. I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and I'm a creative director, choreographer, instructor, artist, etc., etc. I have now been living in Los Angeles for 4 years. Lies, 7 years. I actually take a lot of classes that make me feel crazy. When I first moved here, I had no training in dance. So I was like straight from like the party scene, these street kids, you know, like the ones that dance at cookouts and barbecues, like that was me. So I took a lot of, then any class was hard for me. But as I started to develop my skill and be able to like retain choreography and stuff like that, I started to take a lot of classes that made me really uncomfortable, like jazz and contemporary, even sometimes like the popping and the locking, like stuff that just, I feel like a nutcase when I'm doing it. And even now I still do those things, and there are a lot of people that really challenge me, and a lot of styles that I feel like a nutcase when I'm doing, but I think that they help me so much in general with dance, and I think they make me more versatile and well-rounded. Rich Fam was created in the summer of 2013. I created it because I was at a point in my career where I felt like I really needed to give back to the community. I had been traveling all over the world, and I feel like to be at the platform that I was, a lot of people had just really supported me to help me get there successfully, and I wanted to give back. A lot of these kids, man, they go and they work like 9 to 5, and then they work 6 to 12, and then they save all this money and they try to come to Los Angeles. And then, you know, they spend it on what, taking class, they spend it on training, and then they go back home and then they start all over again to do the same thing. So I wanted to do something that would actually give them a real opportunity and put them on a platform, not only in their communities, but also like globally. I've always, as a person, as an individual, been very entrepreneurial, and to be able to start something that's my own, that's near and dear to my heart, and to actually give back to the community, and for it to have the level of success that it has, for me, like that's the best thing. Like the summer that I did the first show, if you know anybody that was there, like I broke down on stage, I was crying, like the ugly cry. But this thing is like, it makes me so proud to have something that is literally leaving a legacy of positivity around the world. Is like the most amazing thing that I could think of doing. And I think personally, it also answers that question too, because it's something that I've always wanted to do. Own my own and be able to give back to communities on a really large scale, and pretty much like put my foot down and kind of change the world. The biggest obstacle that I have overcome, probably just, I don't know, negativity. I think a lot of people, especially in what we do, what I do, they just doubt, you know? They doubt you a lot. So that's probably the one, negativity. Always trying to just like put those doubts aside and just always keep pushing forward and believing in myself, for lack of better words. Being a young black man in America, a young black successful man in America, it's hard. Like I literally could cry with this question right now. To go back, like in the beginning when like a lot of the shootings and the killings were happening, well, first of all, my father was older, so he lived through the civil rights movement. So the history runs deep through my veins. I've heard stories, and it feels like what I've heard. So for me, there was a time where I stopped driving my car. Like, I was taking taxis everywhere. I was nervous. It sucks to say that, but as someone who is born, raised, bred in America, I was nervous to go outside. Like, I was nervous to drive my car at night because I just didn't know if I was going to end up like another statistic. With that also said, the other part of it is the pride that I have. I'm very proud to be who I am, always will be. And that's the thing, I guess, that fuels me. So how do I feel? Angry, upset, annoyed, anxious, irritated, like so many feelings. But I know at the end of the day, like I have to keep pushing forward, and that the people and my ancestors that came before me, like their work is not for nothing, for lack of better words. Like I have to continue to do it because I have to do it. I have to live for my father. You know what I mean? He went through all this so I could be here. So now it's like, okay, let's go. Maybe I have to do this, not maybe, but I have to do this for my children, grandchildren, etc. And just for my community and the people that come after me. But today, being a black man in America today is difficult, like it always has been. One, to keep your head up, to know that it's going to be difficult, but to know that you're strong enough to accomplish whatever you set your mind to. Whatever your goals are, you can crush them. It might be more difficult, it might seem that way in your brain, but it's okay. I think you also have to not think in that manner, because sometimes that's also what holds us back as a community and as a race, is that we automatically have this thing in our head, this stigma that's just like, you know, I'm black, it's gonna be harder. Yeah, it's the truth, but at the same time, you need to work like you are equal. You need to work for the same amount of respect. And when it's not given to you, you need to make sure that you properly and, you know, respectfully voice your opinion and demand that respect that's supposed to be given. I'm a huge family man. My mom actually was a ballet dancer. She actually has a recital that I'm going to surprise her. She's in a show. My mom is about 65 now, and she started dancing again recently, maybe like 6 or 7 months ago. She's in a recital with the studio. Yeah, I'm surprising her on Saturday. I'm going home. She doesn't know I'm coming. And she's so excited about it. She's like, I'm in 5 pieces, and you know, like, but my mom is one of my biggest inspirations, even though she probably doesn't know that. When I was younger, you know, dancing wasn't cool, like, especially where I'm from. But I used to always be like the little kid that went to the class when my mom was, you know, or rehearsals, and be sitting there. So it's not far-fetched. And then my sisters dance as well. My youngest sister, who is now a hairstylist, she's in Los Angeles doing very well too, is versed in everything. Ballet, jazz, modern, hip hop, tap. Yes, and then my sister above my youngest sister, who's still my little sister, is on tour with Beyonce right now. So I take a lot of inspiration from them, and I actually do a lot to make sure that I'm taking care of them in the future. There's a quote that says, success comes from when preparation meets opportunity. And I think that a lot of people come into dance not looking at it as a career choice, but more of a job. And I think that's what happens to people. They get caught up and they work from job to job, as opposed to when you look at it as a career choice. It's like if you were going to a law firm, you know exactly what you have to do to go there. You know you need a degree in law. You know if you go for the interview, you want to know everything about that company. You know you want to know who started it, what they believe in, what their foundation is. And I think a lot of dancers, especially with the hype and the craze of dance today, which is awesome, and I love it, but they forget that this is actually a career path. And some people, especially older generations, don't believe that it is. And I believe that it's our job to show that it is. So we should be prepared when we go into it, as opposed to just trying to jump into everything and, you know, like, oh, I want to be a dancer, yeah, but it takes a lot of hard work. So I think preparation is the biggest thing, and of course with that you have like diligence, staying determined, the confidence thing. But I think if you know what you're getting into before you get into it, that's the key. I mean, I have a couple projects coming up. If everybody knows about the Rich Fam, you can definitely check that out. Facebook pages, /The Rich Boys Project, /The Rich Girls Project. And I'm about to be doing something that I'm really excited about, which is Rich Fam Elite. I haven't said anything about it, but it's coming, and it's coming to the world, and I'm working really, really hard on it. So look out for that. What up, everybody? This is Rob Rich, and you are watching the Beast Network.